Welcome back to the channel. I apologise that this video is so late. So, race being this weekend, or being Thursday, maybe even Friday by the time you see this. But if you are joining me, I will ask why, but thank you. This video is fairly short. As of currently, the channel is acting as a kind of staging, practicing area for next season. In all reality, as I'm learning about editing and the effort that goes into making videos, which is substantial, I'd admit, compared to what I thought, but it's nothing that you can't handle with a few hours set aside after races. Things like my dissertation being due in around this period and only starting this channel halfway through the season means I'm using these races as a good guess, and when I can put in the effort that I really want to, I will do, but as of right now, just when certain things happen, it means the videos will be shorter, a little later. But with that all said, let's get on with the winners and losers from Marrakech. So here are your results on the race, and we'll touch on some of those standings right now, with our first winner being Mitch Evans. So if you watch this other videos, you'll probably be inclined to say that I have a bit of a Jaguar bias, and you'd be right. However, I think we all have to agree that this weekend Mitch Evans' drive was superb. Our competition leader heading into the weekend, having that very calamitous qualifying where his team seemed to have missed the mark and have had that disastrous miscalculation, which resulted in the championship leader heading into the weekend being released from the garage too late, with the lights turning red as he crossed the line to start his flying lap and failing to set a time. The Jaguar frontman was relegated to the back of the grid, and then despite this monumental setback, he actually scythed through the field during the 54-minute race, miraculously crossing the line in 6th, keeping his championship hopes alive in the process. I think he's got to be our driver of the day, so fair play Mitch Evans. He's still really in the title hunt. There aren't so many obvious losers from this race, as it was overall, in terms of Formula E, a fairly quiet race, although, you know, in relative terms that means not much at all, because every single race seems to be a blockbuster. So the tweet on the screen from the pretty formidable Formula E Stats Twitter account exemplifies this, but there are still so many talking points, and someone that I think I'm going to put in this losers category is Sims, and it's pretty obvious. He's the only DNF on the grid with any energy failure. You've got to be gutted for the man, especially as he was a strong second in the standings for this weekend, and I actually tipped Sims for great things this season in my predictions video. We'll just have to see whether this knocks the wind out of his sails heading into the next race or not. There's not too much to comment on for his race. He was bouncing around the 6th place before falling off and retiring those last few laps. He now sits 3rd in the rankings, so he's still right in the hunt, and we'll just have to see how this affects him for weeks going on. Another quick entry into our losers category is Sam Bird of the Envision Racing team. More as a commentary on that whole season. Virgin looked like the big dogs at the start of the season, with some outstanding pace. They seem to have lost control of the kart a bit, and Bird only managed 1 point in Morocco, finishing 10th, and a few crashes over the party races. That form seems to have lost itself, and they haven't been able to build on that momentum. Our final winner is going to be the obvious Da Costa of DS Techeetah, and by proxy, De Gunther of BMW I Andretti, who stole all the camera time in the race with an enthralling battle at the top, ultimately with Da Costa winning. The mind games were to be seen, with Da Costa slipping behind the German, who by the way was already won this season despite being his first full season of Formula E, and saving energy with slipstream behind the German that ultimately won him the race, and it was a great use of Da Costa's experience. Here are your standings at the end of this race. The race leader is now also our competition leader. I thank you so much for watching. I promise to be trying harder on myself to make these videos prompter, more comprehensive, with more winners and losers, and just very busy with the uni at the moment. Thank you so much for watching.